Now tonight, the Judicial Service Commission is coming under fire after it emerged that there have been over 700 complaints against judges, magistrates and other judicial officers since 2019, with some of the complaints still pending. The Commission on Administrative Justice, also known as the Ombudsman, is now asking the Judicial Service Commission to make public information about the complaints and how they are being handled. The Ombudsman, seemingly perplexed by how the JSC has publicly accelerated recent processes to remove from office Chief Justice Martha Koome, her Deputy Philomena Mwilu and all the 5 judges of the Supreme Court, while remaining mum on hundreds of other previous complaints, has now summoned JSC commissioners to appear before them later in March. As our senior reporter Ibrahim Karanja now reports, this adds to the turmoil currently unfolding in the judiciary.
More twists and turns are unfolding at Kenya's corridors of justice, where an intended purge against judges at the Apex Court has been brewing for several weeks now. But now the hunter is becoming the hunted, as the Commission on Administrative Justice, commonly known as the Ombudsman, goes for the Judicial Service Commission's jugular.
Every person is subject to the law, irrespective of their status in the society.
The Ombudsman faults the JSC for its handling of complaints against judicial officers, criticizing it for not addressing previous grievances in a timely manner and the Commission's failure to publish and publicize all the complaints against judicial officers handled by both the JSC and the Judiciary Ombudsman.
It's very interesting that the same information we've been asking, they're not willing to give. Yet on the 16th, the Vice Chair of the Commission, Mr. Honorable Isaac Ruto, in a press statement detailed that they had received complaints against 7 Supreme Court judges and even gave the nature of the complaints and how they were going to handle it. What is so difficult in releasing that information as it relates to other judicial officers?
The CAJ is now summoning members of the JSC to shed light regarding the resolution and publication of complaints of maladministration against judges, judicial officers and staff of the judiciary. This comes as the JSC is dealing with petitions to remove Chief Justice Martha Koome, Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, and all the 5 other Supreme Court judges. In fact, JSC was on the verge of sending its report to the President, which could have led to the judges' suspension and the formation of a tribunal to investigate them in accordance with the Constitution, when the High Court halted the process after the judges sought legal intervention. The move by the judges to rush to court did not go down well with some of the petitioners.
If the High Court upholds their petition, then there will be room for appeal by whoever's aggrieved to the Court of Appeal. If the Court of Appeal agrees and sets aside the decision of the High Court, where will they go? No, there will be no Supreme Court. It was not intended that a judge, in particular the Supreme Court judge, will challenge his removal through the court processes in Kenya. It was.
This latest development and the emergence of the CAJ sheds the spotlight to the independence and accountability of Kenya's judiciary, with some questioning the JSC's impartiality in handling the recent petitions compared to other previous complaints. This compounded by the CAJ's revelation that the Martha Koome-led commission has received more than 700 complaints of maladministration against the judiciary from 2019, some of which remain unresolved to date.
Judicial Service Commission also has to do some introspection and ensure that there's a consistency in the way they do their work. If there's slightest suggestion that, as it is being said, that JSC has been captured, that the commissioners themselves are no longer independent, that they are answering to Harambee House, they are answering to State House, then it becomes very difficult for somebody to say that I'm going to get justice in this institution.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, the ones who were handling the process to remove Koome and her bench have now been summoned by the Ombudsman. Which way justice in the corridors of justice? Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.